But today we are going to focus on what is bringing us joy. And you and I talk about these things a lot, but I know I want to hear from you first. And then maybe we can like lean even further into it. And maybe I will come up with, be reminded of something and be able to share it as well.
Well, um,
Tell me.
do you know how we're all so goal oriented and we have this list and some of us actually write them.
Not you.
Right. Some of them just carry them around. Language. Some of us just carry them around in our heads like angry drill sergeants beating us up all the time, right? And what really called this into focus for me is in the small community that we live in, there are a lot of parents with teenagers of all ages around us. And one of the dads I'm friends with shared with me that his 14-year-old daughter had a summer bucket list. And I was like, what does it say? Wait, what's on it? What's on it? Because something told me that there was going to be some beauty there that I needed to be reminded of, especially these days. I'm gonna have to do that. But it was so lovely because he just shared some of them with me. Now, if I asked you your bucket list, or if I asked you if you have goals or things you're working on, I'm willing to bet most of them are probably going to figure into professional accomplishment, financial stability, and maybe a note or two about your garden.
And the birds. Yes.
Or
escape.
What you're doing for Pride Parade this year. Like, yes. I know you, right? Yes. Like, and it's coming right up.
So Pride thing. Absolutely.
So what was so beautiful about her bucket list is it reminded me of treating the world as new, right? It had things on it like go on a picnic, right? Go to a drive-in movie. Get a henna tattoo. Right? And she then took it a step further. She decorated it.
She did?
She I haven't seen it. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen it. But he told me it was really beautiful. Because she actually took time to pull out her markers and her colors and to decorate it. And I just thought, I was like, dang, that is smart.
And you know, it welcomes in the energy. It makes it beautiful. You and I are involved with the House of Beautiful Business, right? And it's such a juxtaposition, sadly. What's beautiful about business? But the word beautiful, beautifying the bucket list, like I think welcomes in this energy, right? To make it, help you make it happen. I mean, to summon it and to, I don't know, to not have the critical parent to-do list energy you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah.
But to summon it way.
She had stuff like have an epic 4th of July. Right? Wait. I love this so much. She had night swimming.
Night swimming. I want to go with her.
Right? Like I'm thinking about this and I'm like, shit, this is stuff when you're a kid. Yeah, it is the nectar. It is the longing of the freedom to do this stuff. And when you're an adult, you forget it ever was nectar. Like what are we doing, people? Like, it was such a reminder to me, like, love your life. Do things in life that infuse you with love and joy. Like that. And yes, you can have your freaking Q3 objectives and go keep them. But
KPIs.
but don't forget this stuff. Because the other thing about the bucket list, right? Like that word bucket, it
Even
means
that.
kick the bucket, like things I gotta do before I kick the bucket.
No, that's right. Oh, shoot, I never made that connection. Oops.
You're welcome.
Oh, man.
But the thing I think is so beautiful about that is it reminds me of the Wordsworth poem, I believe,
Mm.
Glory in the Hour.
Mm.
Splendor in the grass and glory in the hour. It's talking about the ephemeral nature of this life.
Can you say that again? Because you glitched really
Oh,
briefly.
say which again?
The phrase, the sentence.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna read you part of it. Why don't I ask for the uh okay, Splendor in the Glass. Yeah, it's William Wordsworth's Ode on an Intimation of Immortality is the name of the poem. So he's meditating on immortality. And he says, though nothing can bring back the hour of splendor in the grass, glory in the flower.
Whoa.
The whole thing is gorgeous. Like, this
Mm.
was one of the poems when I was Valentina's age, that I think was quoted in one of the classic teen literature novels. It was just quoted briefly.
Mm.
And it inspired me, I was around 14, to dig up the poem, and it's one of the poems that made me fall in love with poetry,
Mm.
that opened the gateway to, classic poets, E. E. Cummings, Rumi, like, all that the mystical side, the minimalist side, it opened up a world of what a single word can do to point to something in our hearts that otherwise would take a
Mm.
million words or maybe a million pictures, right?
Mm.
We always
Mhm.
talk about a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Mm.
Well, sometimes one word is worth 1,000 pictures, and that's what this poetry taught me. But what back
Mm.
to Valentina and her summer bucket list. Um,
Hmm.
Carpe diem.
Yeah. So
Don't just
important.
carpe the
Damn
diem,
it.
but,
Right.
like, play the fucking diem, right?
Yeah.
Dance the diem. I don't know these words in Latin, or I did, but I can't find them in this brain right now.
Oh.
Um, yeah, dance the diem. Love
Mm.
the diem.
Mm.
Amore diem. See, I got that one. Amore
You
diem.
dig it. You dig that. So what is the thing what is one of those things on your list for this summer that you've done, that you're going to do, that has that childhood wonder and imagination and a reckless abandon from the to-do list?
Well, I don't wanna copy Valentina, so
They're pretty good though.
hers are really freaking good.
Maybe just swimming, like,
Um,
night
yeah,
swim.
night swimming's pretty good. I think the first is really an easy one, and that is, make s'mores out by my fire pit. It's
Nice.
right by a pond, and, I like something about just doing something that's so simple, right? I don't have to drive anywhere, but if
Mhm.
I go outside and I make s'mores and I put a blanket out, I can lay on my back, and at sunset, I can watch the bats come out because they play right
Oh.
at right around sunset, they start playing.
Mm.
Um, So that's an easy one to execute. How about
Mm,
you, madam?
madam. I've taken to stopping by, Thorn Preserve by where we live. It's this just beautiful grassland area with the Catskill Mountains in the background, and I am trying to notice the plants, shifting, the ones that are growing, the ones that died last year, the ones that are still there, like, the old debris, which nothing is no such thing in nature. And then just cataloging. This is like the part it my brain is involved in a lovely way, which is I'm learning about everyone that lives in that place with Merlin, and walking around and listening and seeing if I can recognize the calls. And I mean, I really do believe when we put ourselves in these places, we're greeted. We are greeted. I think my hummingbirds greet me and say, it's a mixture of like threat and love and curiosity. Who are you? What are you doing here? And
Mm.
thank you. And thank you.
I love it that you said everyone who lives there.
One.
Not
Yes.
everything,
No, never.
everyone. So I love that. The other thing I wanna point out about thorn, I don't know if you knew this, um, but this is true probably for a lot of us, who live in kind of off the beaten path kind of places.
Yeah.
Um, thorn at night in the summertime, I forget which phase of the moon is most generative of this, but, if you go at night, the fireflies will give you a show. Like,
Oh,
literally, you can just put on some
see.
bug spray because 'cause they hungry out there.
Mhm.
It's dinner time, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, you can go. I've gone and just watched it, and it's just once your eyes adjust, like, turn your lights all the way off, get out of your car, take a chair,
Mhm, take a chair.
and, relax, and that show is just magnificent.
Magnificent. Yeah, that's a great bucket. I mean, look at how simple that is. And yet we just don't do it. Like, here's some more example. It's right there. There is beauty all around and a way to commune and reconnect with the more than human world. And I love that more than human. I mean, so many people use it now in the kinds of writings you and I read and the convenings that we're at, but what does it mean and where did it originate? And I know what I think it means, and I love it, and it so puts us in the right place amongst as humans, which is so ironic because not to bring up AI. Interesting though. Like more than human world, does that does that include a technology? Not in the way I think we're talking about it, but it just occurs to me that we are striving for language right now that places us in juxtaposition to the oldest things in the world, the oldest, the truest, the
Mm,
most everlasting, the fireflies, and like the newest and strangest,
mm,
and alien intelligence, right? It's just like wild when you think about it. So I think in our days, the more, you spend time like on Claude working on a project and you go out and you sit with the fireflies, like you make sure that you are reminded of where I, as a human animal, like am in proximity to, and how I'm being influenced, and what am I letting in, and what am I spending time with, because we become what we spend that time with. um, but it strikes me the antidotes of this world and all the things we're learning and the toys we're playing with and the things that are simultaneously like energizing us as humans and terrifying us as humans.
mhm.
There is such a I notice on that bucket list, there's no learn how to code. It's not on the bucket list. Anyway,
Well, I will say she did have a job on her bucket list.
what was the job?
She wants to work at an ice cream store.
Entirely appropriate for that age.
Uh, I'm not an ageist about that, like, I
I'd
was
like that job, like, maybe, you know?
no one's in a bad mood at an ice cream.
Yeah, yeah, it's oh gosh. We do such weird work professionally. Doesn't it just strike you sometimes that when you and even when people like your parents are like, "What do you do again? Like,
Yeah.
what? What is that? You get paid to what?" It makes you kind of realize you have these moments of, "What do I do? And how did this happen?"
Mm,
And I am so more than that too, right? You know, it can feel amazing and constraining at the same time too.
mm,
Yeah. Oh, I love that youthful simplicity, and I love how innocent it is, and I love how grounded in the world that she lives in here it is. Um, I think maybe I wonder about kids growing up in cities and growing up with these lives that are I know I grew up in a combination, but I grew up not paying attention to nature very much. I have to say the awakening to me happened very, very late in life, and I lived
mm.
in Manhattan for 30 years, so that will do it, certainly, but, it was such a just a huge shift to pick up my head and notice the world and notice the lessons of it and the wisdom in it and notice that I'm a part of it and want it and crave it in my life, and it was what sprung me out of Manhattan finally, out of my haze and my days of productivity and that energy, which is go, 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 which is produce, which is
I think
the endless to-do list.
I think there's something really remarkable about that because I know people who, won't allow their nervous systems or their nervous systems won't allow them to
Mm,
step into peace and harmony with nature, who literally, either hate it,
mm,
are afraid of it, can't open up to it, and that if anyone who ever sees this feels this way, I want to acknowledge that as being real and as having come from a very real place because,
for sure.
like, that you were probably in your 30s, right? And you managed to make that leap into, "Wow, this is amazing." I know people our age who no matter what you do, like, no matter what beauty you point out or, "Hey, let's just do something really we'll just walk over to that stream," and they're, "I'll wait in the car," right?
Mm,
So, especially being receptive after a lifetime of not having been
yeah,
exposed, I think that that says something about, the ability to stay open and youthful, right?
yeah, and culturally too, Tavis, you're bringing such an important point that it was not safe and it is not safe for people for a variety of reasons, and that is so tragic, and that's something, that I am aware of that my experience and my sort of choice and my ability to live wherever I want and to encounter this and to walk alone in a preserve, number 1. I mean, I even have a partner who doesn't want me to do that. Life partner. Do not walk alone in the town that you live in a preserve where there's no cars and there's no other humans. And it wouldn't even occur to me because I have so much company of my fellow beings that it feels crowded to me. It feels like a busy intersection. It feels like, I'm on the corner in Manhattan with everybody talking and all the blackbirds right now. They're so funny. The males with the epaulet, the little orange shoulders. They each have like a territory and they're like literally like staked out the territories and they're sitting there, making sure everybody knows what their area is anyway. It's so funny though, that sometimes, as we do with our partners, sort of, miss each other on sort of the meaning and of a moment. And that's okay. I've got a very good
You
a
have
really
to,
I've got
but
a
that's
concrete partner.
but
She's in
it's
the
so back when I was married,
yes.
longest story there. One of the couples books that we read that obviously did not save our marriage, but was really helpful, um, was, spoke about how when we partner, and this I think is true of a lot of things. I'm gonna spin this out a minute.
Yeah, do
Um,
it.
when we partner, we have to really be careful not to colonize that other person
Hmm,
as being part of us, as being part of our identity, right? And I think about friendships that even do that, or
sure.
social groups, interest-based groups, etcetera, that like, "Oh," and I wrote about belonging this week, and I didn't bring up any of this aspect, but that this colonization of each other and this imposition of expectations, judgments, fears, right? Aspirations, values, right? Um, is really something we have to navigate very, very carefully.
I love that word applied to this. I hadn't ever heard it used that way. Colonize.
I think it was it Harville Hendrix? It may be Harville Hendrix,
Mm,
"Getting the Love You Need." Um,
mm, a classic.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we've navigated a lot of that, whether it's introversion, extroversion, spontaneity, planning, very sort of concreteness and abstractness. Um, we've been together almost 30 years, but it's interesting because without that kind of tethering,
Yeah.
it the tethering is helpful for someone like me who and probably like you, Tevis, who could spin out kind of endlessly and kinda get lost in the galaxy, and lose track of the satellite. Who knows where it went, and,
Yeah.
and so the simultaneous grounding, and I'm also, Pisces sun, but Taurus rising. It's so interesting. The Taurus is the bull, right? The grounded. Ooh, yeah. And so the juxtaposition in life, just in general, whether it's in your partnership or your signs, your stars, it's noticing these, yeah, the balance that feels good and how the
Mm,
balance is changing and what you need to change as you get clearer, hopefully, as you get older, clearer and
mhm.
more courageous about defending your territory. Speaking of speaking of those birds, right, defending their territory, that's funny that you kind of bridge to colonizing, because it
Yeah.
just in nature, right now, the male, I have to share a story that or a data point that I just learned. We have thought always that birdsong is male because they're the ones that our instruments can pick up on the most easily, but that was not the truth. Female birds have song too, but we haven't been measuring it and we haven't been listening for it, and our instruments haven't picked it up. Oh, talk about painful and true lessons and reminders from nature.
Over and over and over
Mm,
again,
stopped me
and
in my tracks. I was like, "Really? And why didn't I think of that?" And
well,
I'm like, "Listen, I focused on this work for a long time," and, like, there are things that just hit you between the eyes that you're like, "Of course. Freaking of course." Like, what else are we missing? What other frequencies are we not listening to? So I think my practice of walking into the preserve, yes, being the only human there. I love being the only human animal there. I
because
love it.
it's your sacred moment
Oh
that
my
you don't have to
gosh.
share it with anyone who is
Yes.
gonna talk to you with words.
That's right. I'm being talked to and communicated with, but I'm in this very humble place of being a guest, I think, in their drama. And I love actually also kind of watching others' dramas because I think it puts ours in so much perspective too, like just to completely change vibes and frameworks and frequencies and um yeah, but oh wow, there's just so
You know,
many lessons.
so I know we're gonna wrap in a second, but, I just wanted to give you a phrase. I apprenticed with a shaman for 5 years, and lately, anytime you say the S word, people assume you mean plant medicine and all that, and the shaman I studied with was pretty adamant that the power of accessing those states is available not through ingestion, but through attenuation. So I'm just giving that as a clarification on the type of shamanistic practices I learned. But there's a phrase that is used in the prayer, and in the language and in the framework for how we hold the world that I feel like you would really appreciate. And it is all of our relations. So this means everything that aligns, like when you say that, you are including the Merlins, right? You are including the milkweed. You are including the fireflies, right? You're including everything. You're also including loving like-minded, or they don't have to be that like-minded, but aligned, life-caring, humans, right? But the other thing that's really beautiful about it is they see it as a connection, a chain of 7 generations backwards and forwards.
Right.
So the ancestors whose names you never even heard, right? And that you're kind of establishing horizontal connectivity and vertical connectivity and backwards and forwards as you are a heartbeat in between heaven and earth.
Beautiful. That's
Right?
yeah.
I can
Totally.
sit with that all day.
Wow. Talk
But
about balance. I mean, we think of balance as this,
yeah.
but it's this.
I always, in the energy practices that I learned, my experience of feeling energetic polarity was always one of a gyroscope. So not just up and down, just
Yes.
side to side,
Yes.
but the more I use those practices, the more aware I became of the, you've been on one of those spinny machines that's
Oh, yes. 80s.
outdated. Oh my
Demented.
god.
Completely demented.
We should try and get one of those to Omega. I'm totally joking. I'm totally joking. So good to hang out with you.
I know. And speaking of Omega, talk about, we will do some of our program outside, communing with the relations, being in community with the relations of all kinds, more than human world. And if you're listening to this join us. It's October 9th through 11th. And everybody, Omega's in Rhinebeck, New York, just 2 hours north of the city. And via trains, buses, all kinds of ways to get there. Don't let that be an impediment. But Tevis, I know we're going to weave so much that we've talked about today: poetry, nature, our fellow beings, our ancestors. And we'll talk a lot about balance, I think, because we're always out of balance because we're human in this world, and there's many things conspiring to knock us out. But I think the way we're going to kind of flesh out the balance, and situate ourselves in this moment, people will leave, I think, feeling situated, like feeling, I don't know, that I always think of it as alignment. I guess as a singer and a performer, the alignment with the earth and the grounding in, allowing the voice to come, but then also the posture you need and the openness and the alignment you need for this mechanism to be a channel and not have anything interrupt it from the soul outwards. I think that's, I would imagine, I want to speak for you, but the goal of what I want to explore, flesh out, reset in all of us in our experience together. And we're going to get so creative, as you all have heard in this conversation, about how we get there with you. But I learned so much from you. You have so much so much to give, and I'm going to bring my piece too. And I think everybody in the program is obviously going to contribute and bring their favorite things. And we will put all those in the circle and we will be with them and be with each other.
Totally.
Awesome. Thank you so much. More to come. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Bye, everybody.